Hello students, and welcome to this week's video message. Did you know that one of the most important things about you is your name? Your name is something that you're given when you're born, and it's something that stays with you all your life, the entire length. Now, for many, there's a cool story that can go along with why our parents named us the names that they did, and there's a lot of cool reasons maybe that why our parents took the time to name us or to think of a cool name for us. Another reason why your name is so important, it's when people know your name, it probably means that the people who are saying it know you. It probably means that they care for you and they've taken the time to remember what exactly your name is. Now, do you think that a person, if they were to walk up behind you and yell, hey you, do you think that that person really knows you? No, and probably it means that they do not know you because they don't know your name. Now, do you want to know something cool? Even if you grew up and you don't think nobody or you don't think anybody really knows your name, here's something that's cool, that God knows your name. God knows who you are. Now, today let's open our Bibles to John chapter 10, and let's read verses 14 as well as verse 15. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with just those two verses, but I'm going to try to break it down a little bit to make it a little bit easier to understand. In those verses, Jesus is calling himself a good shepherd. Now, if you don't know what a shepherd is someone who tends to sheep. Some of the things that a shepherd does is make sure the sheep are doing well, make sure that they're getting fed, and also a job of the shepherd is to make sure to protect them. When I think about sheep, I think of little harmless creatures that they could be easily attacked if they don't have a shepherd who's watching over them and trying to protect them and help them out. Now, I like what those verses say about how God knows his sheep. And knowing about shepherds now, I know that not only does a good shepherd know their sheep, but also a good shepherd will fight for their sheep. John chapter 10 verse 11 tells us, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. So just as the shepherd is committed to protecting their flock, Jesus is committed to us in that same way. And the last point I want to make is that God, as our good shepherd, will also direct us like a shepherd would their sheep. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11 reads, He will tend his flock like a shepherd. He will gather the lambs in his arms. He will carry them in his bosom and gently lead those that are with young. So when we go back to Jesus' words in John chapter 10, we know that a good shepherd knows their sheep. We know that a good shepherd will fight for their sheep. And we know that a good shepherd will direct their sheep. God knows us. Okay, like a shepherd knows their flock, God knows his. God knows us. And God knows everything about us. God knows all the good things about us. All the times that we've done something nice when nobody was looking, God knows about those things, even if nobody else does. Also, God knows about the bad things about us, as in the things that maybe we do in secret or the mean thoughts that we have in our head that nobody else knows about. Well, somebody does. God does. But what's amazing about what I just said there is that even though we sometimes have mean thoughts, or sometimes we don't listen to him and deliberately do the opposite of what he wants us to, what's amazing is that he still knows us And not only that, he still wants to fight for us. And God still wants to direct us, even though he knows sometimes how we can act. Let's go back to the idea that God knows us. To truly know someone means more than just knowing about someone. I know of many actors. I know about many actors that are on TV or musicians that make music and they're on the radio. I know a lot about those people. I know a lot about them. Now, do you think that I truly know those people though? Well, the answer is no. I don't truly know about those actors or musicians. I know about them, but I do not truly know them. So I know that when it comes to God, I know that he does a little bit more than just know about me. I know that he truly knows me. Truly knowing someone is different. Our opinion about someone might actually change if we take time to truly know them. Last year in youth group, we had a theme. Every week I would repeat this, and I'd say that when it comes to God, that God is worth our investment. As in, it's good for us to invest in God, because God invests in us. He loves us, and he takes time, and he will listen. God definitely invests in us, but also we were saying how it's important for us to also invest ourselves into God. Taking time to know God is very, very beneficial. And for the reason I gave earlier, maybe if we don't really know about God, if we take time and invest in him and get to know him, maybe he'll show us what he's all about. And in fact, I won't even say maybe. I'll guarantee you that if we take time to get to know God, he'll show you what he's all about. So how do we get to know God? Well, it's easy. There's a couple things that we can do. Prayer. Prayer is so important. Prayer is a great way for us to talk to God, have God talk to us, and really connect with him. Tell him about yourself, and God will reveal himself to you and tell you about him. And also, something that we can do is reading the Bible. Reading the Bible is a great way to get to know about God. Inside the Bible, we can read about how powerful he is and what he has done. I truly believe that the Bible is living and breathing. It's something that we can use as a tool. Now, those are two effective ways that we can get to know God. So try it out this week. So this week's discussion questions are, do you think that God really knows who you are? Also, how is God like a shepherd? How does God fight for us? How does God direct us? And last question, how can you get to know God better? Take time and answer these questions, and I encourage you to pray, and I encourage you to read your Bible, and you never know what you may find out, and you never know the joy that it may bring you. Thank you for watching, everyone, and God bless.